Hey there, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about postpartum weight loss. And let me tell you, this actually was quite impressive for me. Like after I weighed myself, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. We've actually lost 60 plus pounds in 5 months. And I just cannot believe it. I honestly thought this was going to take me years and years and years, but we did it. And I'm just going to share what I did, etc. If you're kind of like on the same boat, even if you're like a few years out, I feel like this would be really, really helpful. Do a start in the beginning. We got pregnant on September 15th of last year. And for some odd reason, you know, when the doctor said, oh yeah, you'll gain about 25 to 35 pounds, I was like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of weight. Like we're definitely not gonna be gaining that amount. And let me tell you, I doubled that. I doubled that so stinking quick. When we left that hospital that day, Trevor was like, do you think you're gonna go over 200 pounds? I was like, there is no way in the world where I would go over 200 pounds. And let me tell you, we went a little bit over 200 pounds. And I was like, wow, this is a little easier than I thought. I loved being, you know, big old belly. I just thought it was like such a fun time in my life because it's just such a short season. When you look at it throughout like the big picture, like it's really, really short season. Anytime that I have any thoughts of like, oh, your body looks like this or like that, like I shut it down real quick. Like it is not taking my brain space. I feel like body image right now is just at its all-time high. How you look is at its all-time high. And it's kind of like an obsession in my personal opinion. So that's where we're not trying to be. You know, God gave me this body, and the reason why I'm, you know, eating this way or working out this way is because I need to take care of what he gave me. So after we broke that 200 pounds, we actually went a little bit over. I was like, okay, that's fine. I didn't worry about it, right? You know, even when we left the hospital and I still looked pregnant, and funny thing, even my sister was like, oh, why do you still look pregnant? And I was like, good question. I don't know. Never been through here. Maybe they left the placenta in me still. But no, it's just you don't lose weight like overnight, you know? It was wild. And I feel like even postpartum, I never let, you know, my bigger belly or my chunky old thighs like take that space in my brain, because that's the least of my importance right now. I have a little baby girl who's relying on me to sleep, to change her, to feed her, etc. Basically, I'm in the back burner for the moment, and that's okay. I also knew that it wasn't going to be forever. It's not going to be forever like that. And one thing, my biggest why as to why I always like to, you know, go back to working out or eating healthier because there's like literally no limits in the South, is because my why. And if you've seen previous videos, I feel like I've always hit like on this. My biggest why is because I want a lot of babies, right? Like give me all the babies. I love them. And like I personally want to play with them. Like I want to run with them. I want to, if they tell me, hey mama, let's go play kickball, let's go. And I'll be like, whose team am I in? You know, I want to be the mom who's like active, who's just like always up and down, like not really like catching my breath for just like walking down the block, right? If I can avoid it, why not take care of myself? You know, I don't have any like medical conditions at the moment. Yeah, at the moment, because you who knows, that are like keeping me from being that active mama. And she is my biggest motivator. Every time I see her, I'm like, oh heck yeah, girlfriend, we're gonna do this and this and this. We also farm, and then we're digging our little hands into some cattle. So I feel like you just kind of naturally need to be a little bit stronger, you know, because a lot of the stuff is a lot heavier than you think. So like that's my biggest motivator, you know. I want to be really, really helpful to my husband, and I also want to be a very fun, active mom for my little ones who are probably gonna go crazy running around. We did not start working out though, or like really doing more like exercises until I got cleared from my OB, and that was actually at 4 weeks. But I still didn't feel right. Like, you know, when you like sit down postpartum, like on a hardwood floor, and it feels like a little, you know, not comfortable. Yeah, I was still feeling like that. And I was like, there is no way this girl's gonna be working out. So I waited until 6 weeks. So I feel like at that point, I actually started feeling like a little bit better. But I started with just slow walks outside. Literally just go around the block and come back home, because I don't know, I feel like I was still a little sore, and like my pelvic area wasn't like, you know, top notch. Another thing that I don't do, and will probably never ever do, is count my calories nor my macros, because first of all, I have a baby girl, and who knows if God will give me more baby girls. I don't need her to be focusing on that. I don't need to be focusing on that. I want her to be so comfortable with whatever she's eating that she doesn't need to be like, oh, let me check the calories on this. And I don't want to be over here, you know, on the side, you know, without even like telling her what I'm doing, but you know, she's like watching me like track my calories or whatever, and then I'd be like, oh, I can't eat that because it has like 350 calories, etc. No, I definitely do not want to instill that at any point in her life. I never want her to limit her food intake based on calories. And babies, I feel like at the moment, or toddlers, just really learn from watching you. And I do not want to do that. I want her to see mommy eat whatever the heck she wants. And I want her to see me like working out and doing whatever to maintain like a healthy life. I also want them to understand that everything in moderation, baby. If you want to eat Oreos, great, but also make sure you're getting some kale, some spinach, some good old veggies, steaks, you know, fat old steaks, livers, whatever, in your belly as well. Everything in moderation, because I feel like the more we start to limit something, the more, especially for me, like the more I crave it and the more I end up like just like overindulging in it when I have it. I also do think that when you're just really like forcing yourself to not eat something, you're gonna be munching on something else to like kind of fill that craving, and you're gonna be overeating in another area. My biggest priority when my baby girl was born was to feed her, you know, nurse her, whatever. I personally didn't want to formula feed her just because I figured if I can produce milk, then let's go right ahead and do it. If I can't produce milk, then let's go ahead and go to the formula, you know? That's kind of like been my thought. Like, it's don't always set in stone on something because it's probably going to change more than you think. Once I knew that I can actually produce enough milk to feed my baby girl, that's when I was like, okay, top priority is making sure that I have enough. Over 5 months postpartum. So first 6 weeks, absolutely nothing. All I did was eat, try to shower when I could, and if I probably had the energy, go on a walk or so, or go out of the house and go get a coffee or something. You know, that's as much as I did in the first 6 weeks. I literally don't even think that I thought about losing weight in those first few weeks. After I got cleared, after I felt a little better, then I started walking. And then I discovered that my little girl loves walks and being outside. Oh my gosh, it is her life being out there. It has gone to the point where if she's not done being outside, because I usually have her in my carrier, she will scream. And then guess what? My 20-pound goes back in and outside we go. So I honestly think that walking, it's so underrated, but it was one of the best ways that I lost the weight. And mind you, I'm sure I lost like 30 pounds just from walking. Well, you lose your postpartum like water weight, your placenta comes out, your baby comes out, you lose like all the blood you also accumulated. Besides that, I'm sure that walking had a huge like impact in my weight loss. And this was nice because it wasn't so vigorous to where I was like burning more calories than what I was consuming. Now, after I believe a month of that, I then started this 75 hard mommy modified. And that only lasted a few weeks because I was losing weight quicker than I thought I was actually going to. And even though I was like trying to eat so much, I don't know why I was burning so many like calories from just working out and breastfeeding. And I just don't think I could keep up eating that much while doing both. So I kind of backed down on that, which I was a little sad because I was like, 75 hard, mommy modified, let's do this. And I love challenges, so it's like the best thing ever. So we cut back on that, and we went to working out 3 to 4 times a week. Now, in these 3 to 4 times, it can either be lifting, it can be a dancing workout. What else? It can just be walks. What else do I do? Honestly, like some resistance bands, some jump roping, etc. Like something just to get my body moving for about 30 to 45 minutes. And I don't necessarily have to be drenched in sweat, but as long as I get that heart rate up, as long as I get like, some sort of movement, some sort of little sweating going on, like I'm completely fine. I also started doing a lot of the YouTube workouts. There is this lady, oh my gosh, it's this lady right here. She is the best. Oh, I should say that after the 6 weeks, another thing with the walking that I did was I tried to do a lot of the postpartum core workouts to really like strengthen my pelvic and my core area again. Another thing that I think helped a lot in keeping my milk supply, but also working out and helping me lose weight is drinking water, drinking lots and lots of water. Because I am working out, especially on the days that I work out and I do sweat quite a bit, I try to make sure that I'm drinking about, when I do that, about 100 ounces, but when I don't, I keep it around like 80 to 90 because I've also heard that when you overdrink with water, it can also hinder your breast milk, so you never know. You just gotta like test it out and see whatever the heck works. So then after I changed to working out from 3 to 4 days in whatever type of workout I feel like doing, that started around the 3.5 to 4 month mark. And we're 5 months now and we are down 60 plus pounds. Wild. When I told my dad about this, I was like so proud because I was like, you know what, Dad? Because my dad's like one of them like very fit, like 50-year-olds can like you know, at work, anybody basically. And I was like, you know what, Dad, you want to know how much weight I lost? And he was like, how much? 100 pounds. I was like, Jesus, okay, calm down, simmer down. No, I was like, but for real, like how much? And he's like, 20 pounds. I'm like, no. I was like, I've lost, and I think at that time, I think it was like 56 pounds. I was like, I've lost 56 pounds. He's like, 56 pounds? When the hell do you lose 56 pounds if your girl was freaking 7 pounds? I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Calm down there, sir. Just motivate me a little more. But anywho, I thought that was the funniest thing ever, and so did my sister. But when it comes to nutrition, this is exactly how I eat. I try to have at least 2,000 to 2,500 calories. And let me tell you, to get to 2,000 calories, that's really hard, let alone to get 2,500 calories. So this is kind of what I found out with what works for me. And especially like if I just keep it like plain old simple, same thing every day, like it just helps me function better. So in the mornings, usually I wake up around like 4:35, and around that time I'll have my oatmeal, a coffee, and 2 pieces of Ezekiel bread. And that's what I have. And then around 9-ish, I believe, like after baby girl is up around 8 and we play with blah, 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 9 o'clock rolls around, and I either have like an avocado toast with another 2 more Ezekiel bread toasts, or the sourdough English muffins, bomb, and then 2 eggs. That's kind of what I have. And then maybe like some bacon, that's always the bomb, sausage, you know, some good old pork in there. That's what I end up having. And now when I but when I really came up with like my basic meals that I wanted to stick to, I made sure that I had enough protein and carbs and a sprinkle of veggies, because that's a little hard for me. That's breakfast. Lunch, this is where I have a hard time, because this is kind of like, you know, the middle of the day where baby girl has tons of energy. She wants to be moving around, doing this and that, and like I don't have enough to make for lunch, but like I don't want to use what I'm making for dinner for lunch. Does that make sense? So anywho, lunch is a little bit of a struggle. We'll kind of have something random to fill us up. And then dinner, that's like my big old meal. So I'll either have like a big old fat steak, some liver, I'll have anything beef basically related. I will be in the evening. We're a big beef family, so there's always some sort of protein from beef there. Honestly, chicken here and there. Right now we've been having pheasant because Trevor just got done hunting for pheasant. So I want to make sure that I have a big old chunk of protein in there. That's kind of taking majority of my plate, but also some carbs. So, you know, some mashed potatoes loaded with butter, the bomb. What else? Some mac and cheese. Oh, that actually sounds good right now. Something like that, and then like a little bit of veggies. Now, I've struggled to eat veggies. This is like a lifelong thing. And one way that I found to eat veggies is by roasting them. Oh my gosh, why didn't I know this like earlier? We started roasting like vegetables, and we eat so much of it now. Like roasted broccoli, 10 out of 10. One night we just kind of tried it out, and we ate like a whole head of broccoli. We've never done that before. We were just like, wow, that's actually pretty dang good. We should have got more broccoli now. The other thing, because I have such a sweet tooth, oh my gosh, like literally that's why I have cavities, is because I just do not know how to limit my sugar intake, is I try to supplement like unhealthier snacks for like healthier alternatives. So, you know, if I'm really craving a Reese's peanut butter cup, I will get a date, I will stick some peanut butter, dip it in chocolate. That honestly usually satisfies me because it really tastes the same. Or usually I'll do like some Greek yogurt with some peanut butter and then some chocolate drizzled on it. The bomb. That is like my nightly snack every single night. Trevor thinks it's the most disgusting thing ever. You know, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You get your protein in. Let's see. And if I am craving like some sugary stuff, like cinnamon rolls, cookies, I will try my best to make it at home before going to the grocery store and buying it. And that's just because I feel like the grocery store, when you do buy it, obviously they want it to last for a little longer than the usual. So they'll add like more preservatives. They'll add a few more like things that in this household, you know, this kind of little hippie household, we try not to consume. But nothing bad with it if you like here and there you eat a fruit snack, you know, with red dye. It's not like you're just gonna go bam, ADHD crazy or, you know, angry. You know, it's all about balance in this household. But we really try to limit it. Like if we're really craving something, like we try our best to make it at home. Did I cover snacking? If I didn't cover snacking, this is the snacking part. I try not to snack as much because like sometimes I will be snacking throughout the day and not really like eating full-blown meals because I'm not hungry enough to eat like full-blown meals. But like I'm hungry enough for another snack, you know what I'm saying? So I try to really limit those. Usually after I get done with my dinner and then I have my bowl of Greek yogurt with peanut butter and chocolate, I try not to eat anything after that unless I'm like hungry, where I'm like, maybe I need like something a little more saltier, more protein, etc. Then I will eat again. But usually I will like cut it off and like cut the snacks throughout the whole night, because there would be times where we'd just be sitting on the couch watching something, we'd just be like snacking. So snacks are like something that like are not really existent in this household. But anywho, besides that, this is our before, this is like a few weeks postpartum, and this is our after. And let me tell you, I felt really good in both of them. Like one of them I had my baby girl and I was, you know, chunky, but that's okay because, you know, I just literally popped out this human out of me. So, you know, and here we're feeling good because we're literally completing our Y, because I want to play with my baby girl, because I just want to have lots of babies. Literally, God, please give me lots of babies. And yeah, so perfectly, you know, in line with what I am, who I am, and what I want to do with my life. That's exactly what I did to kind of lose a little bit of a postpartum weight loss. And let me tell you, one piece of advice is don't starve yourself to lose weight, because that's going to be like, your body's going to think, oh, I read this once, don't know if it's true, so don't quote me on this, but I read once that when you kind of like yo-yo diet or whatever, where you're like eating, and then one day or week or whatever you restrict yourself, your body's gonna think you're like going through a famine. So it's basically going to store everything that you're eating in your body, so then it like survives throughout this famine period, you know? The more you restrict, the more your body will hold on to weight. And even when you're restricting yourself, you're going to burn more muscle than fat, because I believe fat takes about 5 hours to convert it into energy, but muscle takes a lot less. So you'll be like kind of going through your muscle mass more than your fat. But anywho, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope it was somewhat encouraging. I do not want it to be like one of those where you gotta lose weight right away. We probably would have taken a lot longer. I don't know why we lost weight so dang quick, honestly. I kind of think it's because we really were active throughout pregnancy, but I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe with my next baby, you know, next year, I'll let you guys know if it works out again or not. So anyway, I'll catch you guys on my next one.